All right, guys. So welcome back. To create our product route. First of all, we have to create a route here. Just call product.js. Okay, so we can actually make the let's create product route. Sorry, product route.js. All right, even this one is supposed to be right route, so we have to correct that one. Um, so if you collect that one, you have automatically have to change from here also. So let's bring in product. It's a product route. Product route is equal to the product route, but we also have to register app.product route, app.api, um, app.use API/product, and then we pass our route name. Okay, there's nothing in our product route, so we can do some stuff in there. First of all, we can bring in our product route, we can bring Express. Express is equal to Express. This is the usual thing, eh? So we'll bring in the Express, and then we create a route, which we use Express.route, and then we bring manager controller. So we need to bring not manager controller, instead to bring product controller. So this does not exist. We don't have this model, this controller. So we can create this controller by going to just here, then we create product controller.js. Okay, and then what we want to do now, there's actually nothing, so you can close some of this. We don't need this one for now, and then app.js also don't need it, that, and then manager route, you don't need that, and then manager rule, we don't need also that for now, and then this one and the authentication. Okay, so what I want to do here, I just want to, when this one, can I close it? I want to, in the product controller, we have to bring model const product is equal to model.product. We don't have that model, so we actually, let's first go ahead and create the model, because we don't have it. We only have one model user. Let's create product model .js. So for product model, to do that, let's bring in mongoose const mongoose. Mongoose, we require mongoose, and then const product schema is equal to, can use AI to speed up quantity that one. I need to remove it, get rid of this one, eh? So in a product, we need a price, which is a number. We also need you can say price is required, but you can have a price before. Let's say price before. Price before. Price before is because if you go create, let me just go ahead and create a product here. Log in as a seller. Let's say that store. and then just that one you can leave it empty, and then go ahead and log. Oh, I cannot log in because I don't remember that email. So I can create another user. So I want to show you. Actually, I can copy that email, and then home dot store and fashion. So go to login, and then I try to log in. It take us to log to dashboard. So scroll down, add product. Okay. You see here we have price before. So price before is not actually required, but you can set it. So price before we set it to number is required to set it to false. So this is actually how you create a model. So create a schema, and then you pass it to create model. You just export the model. All right. What else? Price, and then description. Which also have the seller. So product name, but we want to pass seller. This one instead we can call this stock. Let's call this stock. So we call stock. We also pass category. Required is not true, but if you set to true, maybe you also can set the default. Set default to 0, and then you can also set category, which is also required, and then subcategory is required to false. So image URL required to false. What else do you need to set for the product model? Then we need the store number. We don't have store model yet, so we need to create the store model too. And then object, we access store, and then we access this is a kind of this is kind of the document. This is the reference to the document, which is the model should be stored. We don't have this model. You can see here we don't have it, so we need to create that model. But before that, set also created at the date created at so date.now. What else we need to add here? So that's it for now, but we need to, the way we did this, that the seller needs to access. We can use seller, we can have seller and then store. So I mean we can request get all product from a store, from the store with their store number, or get all product from the seller which is just a user. So I can say seller, I can type kind of something like seller is equal also to a request is equal to mongoose.schema.type.object. So object ID, and then we will now reference now is now user model. So I save this. Let's go ahead and create store, because we don't have store. This will throw an error if you want to create a model. So store.js, sorry, store.js. So For store, we don't have much. We don't have really have much, but you can let's bring mangoes first. Comes to mangoes, um, is equal to require mangoes, and then um, store. We don't have much. We will have name, store name, and then what else? Require true, but this instead you can call it store name. Call store name, store name. Require true, and then what else you need? I also need seller, so we need seller. Seller is required because seller is actually the user. So type mangoes.schema.type types.object, and then we pass the reference is now the user. So I will show you how we're going to handle this, and then address. Let's close this first. Sorry. You can export this. Export. Okay, so actually we have much we need. Seller. So we have seller, reference to seller. We have names required, but we also need logo. So you can set logo for your store, which will be image shrink required. Let's set false. Sometimes you want to be able to add it when you are using API Postman. And then another thing with description. Description. Oh, description is that's correct. Type string require false. Or what else? And then categories. You can create a categories. So these are things you can add it, which is which will be just a string, and then require false. And then you have created that. Created at, which will be date, um, date, and then dot now. What else do you need to add there? So for the store, if you go to, for example, you create a product here. Um, you create a product. Let me show you. Let's just go to the product first. I want to show you something. If you select this product and then you go to click this product, uh, you see that we have some information. We have some information here. For example, score, and then follow us all of this performance, all of this. So we need to just create to add this to our model. So we can add some stuff. For example, performance. Let's say performance it should be an object. Performance. So is equal type to map. Is set type map. Is set to map, and then require is false, and then map of number, and then default will be just empty object. Okay. Score, we can also add score. Score, which will be just going to add type number. This is the rating for admin. Admin sometimes she has to rate the or show the whatever the rating to a store, and then minimum mini we set to 0, and then max we set to 100. All right. That's it. I think just it for the store. but we can show if the store is active. That's it. Just show if it's active, and then type boolean, and then by default is true. Okay. So back to the product controller. But before that, I want to show you something that's okay. Since we have a product, and then since we have store, if you see that when you create, you go to a user here after you created an account, automatically we create for you a store a store. So if you click here, you can see that we are going to that store. We are hitting the store URL to load the store, and then you see there here there's no product. So to do that, we have to go to where we are creating user. So that is been auth controller. Auth controller. Here we have login, registration. So we want to check if the user exists. If the user does not exist, so we want to create a new user here. We want to create the store. So you can check if new user, nope, if new user, so create store, create store. So for that, we'll do constant new store is equal to store. So we pass store name, seller ID, and then we also need to pass the logo. If the logo if there is logo, we will set. But for now, let's just set to empty, and then description. Where is the store? Is there description? Description. Okay, description. We will pass description here. Description, and then you pass description. So to get description, we have to go back to, we need to go here and then pass another key, which is going to be description, and then we will also pass logo, which I know it should be empty for now, and then we don't need to validate this one, but we also need to pass the store name. Store name. But we can validate store name. For example, check. You can check if the store name. Okay, we can check if role is equal to seller. So a store name is which will be required. So that one you can now just return the message that store name is required, and then description is required. Logo, no, you can leave logo, just go with this one. So that means if now you're trying to create an account, if you don't provide, if you said you create an account as a seller and then you don't provide the store name, you get an error. For example, I can show you that if you go back and then try to create an account here, just log out and then try to sign up um, as a seller, and then we don't provide the store name. You see this one will get a name. But another thing is also if you provide a name, this is actually from the front end. But if you bypass this one, from back end, you get another requirement. They ask you to provide the store name. So this is the final project. So we are just building our final project as we are. First of all, we are focused much on back end because this is very, very important. All right. So we also have to make sure that the store name is unique. I don't know. We can set unique or it can be the same thing. I don't know. You tell me in the comment below. The comment. What do you think? All right. So if the role is equal to seller, we require this one. So down here, where we are creating new seller, new store, where is it again? It's a login, and then here is the registration. Okay, so if user is not empty and the role is equal to seller, so now we will create now a new seller, and then you pass description and all of that. Um, name to store name. You have to pass store name. Sorry. This seller is actually the user ID, and then we pass the store name. So we can try this one. Can go back to a Postman. This is where we are making this is where you are making a request. So we want to make a request as a seller, to create an account as a seller. I may just say user 2. Let me say, for example, color. And then we we didn't we are not we don't provide the seller. We don't provide the store name and whatever information, so we get an error message. If I try to send a request, we will create. Let's try again. I could not send a request. Out dot so let's go back and check. We got an error here. Yes, we have an error. Get First of all, the store is not exist. We have to bring in the store. User, so you have bring const store is equal to is that to bring store that is equal to models required models and then store. Another thing here. So what I can do is try to copy the code to use the AI to clean up a little bit. Um, let's see, create authentication endpoint. So this one. All right. So let's create. Let's clean up. In fact, you can just post the code like this, and then the AI will help you to clean up. I see the suggestions. Full example of we have all this one, but let's go back to. It looks like we don't have something to correct. So the way we usually you can debug this issue is by you can copy app.use middleware is required. I can see. Let's go to app.js. App.js product. Okay, so if you go to product route, and then we need to export route, sorry, have to export the route, and then save. The error is gone. Okay, the error is gone. Now back. Okay, now we get an error. Internal server error. So if you go back to our word controller, the error is actually coming from here. So something's here we need to check. No, it's actually from here. This is the login, the registration. Why is that happening? If the role is equal to the seller, and then we create this one. Do await method await. So I'm trying to find out where is the problem. So if I copy that one up, if the role is equal to seller, if the role is equal to seller, so we need to say that, okay, we require this information. We require the store name, and then we also require the description. Not if so if the user want to create an account as a customer, default is user. If you go to user model, you see, for example, the default role is user. But if you want to create an account as a seller, so we require you we require store name. So this is what's happening here. So if I go back here and then try to send, I'm supposed to get a different error. So store name is required because here. But if I just say role to user and then I send, so I'll create an account without issue. The user already exists. We can create another one. Let's say, for example, change the email and then change the name. Send again the request. User was created successfully. But if I change, for example, here to 3, and then I want to, let's set here, for example, to 1, 2, 3, and then we set here to seller, and then I provide the store name. I'll say colors store store name, color store. And then for description, if I provide this, I will get an error. They ask you to provide the to provide the store name. Another thing you can also improve this code is by going here to check if the user is equal to you can copy this code, copy this one, just cut this and then get rid of this one. And then before creating the user, where we are creating user here, before creating the user, so we check. So this will make us that we don't have to create the user with the same with the email and then request the store after. So what I want to do here is we want to create all this one, so we can remove this validation, this statement. We leave everything here, and then we can also copy here and here, and then also this one here. So I will going to copy this one if the user is seller, and then we're just going to provide this one here. So make sure that, okay, we are going to create all the user account. Yeah, we return the error, return everything, but and then we come to create a new user, and then save and create the store, and then also save the store, and then return user created successfully. Else we are just going go ahead and create the user. So this will prevent us from creating the user with the same email address, and then if user try again, so This for production project, you have to always to check all this type of error. So if you are checking, I put it, for example, 4, and then I set to 10. I should just send the email a new user, and then set to this one, and try to send the request. Description is required, but if I provide the description, so I want to get an error that okay, the email was already been taken or was already exists. No, so description. Just say the store description. Store description. And then I send, so I will create the user. The description is required. Let's see. Description. Okay. Here description, and here is description. So you have to make sure the key match. Oh, that's the problem. Now send. User was created successfully. So this is how you fix some errors when you are working on a production product. All right. So this is now if we want to now to go to, for example, when you want to now to create a product, and then create product, now so we require now the user to provide, we want to now to add the store name. For example, if you go to the product here, you see that we have a, let's say an example here. We have store name here. You have the store name and then description. If you click here, this will take you to the store. This is the store. So to do this, when we are creating a product, and then you see in our product here, we are already including the seller and then the store. Can close this. So in a product controller, let's go just and create the product. Can do const create product. Create product is equal to create new product. So new product, we just pass the body and then save the product, and then we can do export. Can export create the product, and also export say delete the product. So can do delete product, and then we just pass whatever information here to delete. You also can also export delete the product, and also export update the product. Okay, so for create product, we want to validate the create product. So first of all, we don't want to create this one. We just want to return nothing. Yeah? Product created successfully, but we also want to just comment this one. But we want to console.log the input, the request body, to see what we get. And then we have a create product route. If you go to create a product route, okay, the post, and sorry, route. So we have create product, update product, and then delete product. And then also we have get product, and also add here get product, const get product, and then also so this, let's just go and add this one, route, get product, get method, and get product. So not get, but you just want to pass product, and then you pass the name, the ID, and then update also you pass that. Okay, we want to send now a request to create product. So if you go to Postman, so you can do post, and then HTTP. We want to set here product, and then um, get product.create. Yeah. So request, we want to pass a body, and then make sure that this is a JSON. So we want to pass things like, for example, name. Just going to do name test, and then description. Uh, Description. Let's set to test description. Okay, and category. Let's say fashion. So if you send the request, of course we get an error. Try again. Get an error. Back to our server. Try to reload to see the problem. Route got and define. Okay, so this is we're supposed to bring create const. Actually, we're supposed to bring one by one functions. Since you is separated, supposed to bring one by one. So from the route, we can do create product. Is there create product? Yes, create product. You can get create product, and then update product, and then get product. So we can get rid of this one, and then just save. Undefined, but got product route 12. Where's 12? Put update product. Which method is, which function is here? Update product. And to pass this one, update product. You have delete product, get product, add update product, and then get product. What else is missing there? 14. Get product. We don't have get product. Get product is there, but you need to export it. Okay, now the error is gone. So if go back to Postman, try to send the request. Okay, product created successfully. All right, but we just want to see the the request body. So this is the request body, but this is not what we want to do exactly. We wanted to authenticate to pass the middleware here. So to do that, if you can also go to browser, Express.js or middleware. So here is a code documentation you can also read. So you see that the middleware you can pass. Let's see. Yeah, you can pass. You can let's see. Yeah, you see that the middleware, you can pass you have a request, response, and then next. Next does that mean you can validate the request. Uh, you can pass the middleware. For example, here in this case, all right. So in this case, we want to authenticate the user. So we can pass authenticate, we pass a middleware here. So before to call the create method, we have to hit it up first of all, this authenticate. So of course we don't have authenticate yet. I just want to pass authenticate for, sorry, authenticate when you want to create, update, delete. Yeah. So for get, we don't want to, that one you can access it without authenticating, without being authenticated. So we can do const authenticate is equal to require middlewares authenticate. We don't have that authenticate yet. I want to create it. So we can go to middleware. We create authenticator. Let's create authenticate here, .js. All right. So what we want to do in authenticate? In authenticate, we just want to make sure that the user is authenticated, is uh, is actually a genuine user, whatever. So what we can do, we can bring JSON JSON web token, and then we also want to bring in the user, but I don't think we require the user in here. So we can do const authenticate is equal to async function, which now we want to get, first of all, we want to get the token, extract the token, get the token from the header, and then we want to do const token authorization, or another way you can also do it is, let's try this one. AI also is smart enough to help us speed up access the near node token provided, and then try catch const decoded the, const decoded is equal to JSON web token dot verify token process dot inf web token, and then we call next. Error statue 401 invalid token, and that's it. So what is happening here is we get the token from the header, and then we verified. If the token is not there, we return the message access denied, and then um, else we get the verification token. Else we take the token and then we verify the token. We use a JSON web JSON web token dot verify to verify the token, and then if you get, we return the user. So you can also change some method here. For example, you can also check. We can check if the user is a seller. So if it's not seller or not, so if the user is not seller, you can return an error. You say, okay, you are not authorized to create a product or delete a product because he is not a seller. You see, it's not. You can do something like this if the coded the coded dot role is not equal to seller. You can also return an error success false. You are not authorized to access this route, and then that's it. And that's it. Else we set the user, the request dot user to the decoded, and then we continue. Um, So this is it. This is it for authentication. Um, but we don't want to have this one here. We can say if is not equal to seller or is not equal to the user. But this middleware, this authentication middleware, is not only for seller or for manager, is actually for all users. So if you want, we can also create a different middleware to check if the current user is seller, has permission to create product, is suspended, yes, things like that. All right, for this now we're just going to save this one and then we want to try it. So you saw early we managed to create a product here successfully. But if I try this time, I will get an error. Let me try, and then you see. Could not. I can try again. I could not. So if I go and I remove that middleware, I will be able to do whatever. But right now, so what I want to do is I can copy this one. I want to use AI to clean up. Mm, let's try to correct here. Um, let's try to correct this code. So I can use AI, chat GPT, to actually clean up this code. So here is an improved version of the code. Explanation of the change. So check if the beer token prefix this update code ensures that the authorization header includes the beer prefix, which is a common format. Okay, so this was good. So this is how you can use to debug also the issue. Another thing, we can also copy the route. You can copy this route and then go to AI. Also post this, just post this one here. So this one looks like there's nothing to improve here. Suggestions. Mm, final code suggestion change. All right, let's just copy that one and then go back to our route. Okay, so let's go back to but here we want to get that error. We can also try to go back to the product. We can do try catch here. Let's do try catch. So you pass this one and then also handle error. Okay, save that, go back to Postman and then send the request again. Okay, now we get error. Cannot post API product get. I think there's an issue with the code update. So once, if you use, there you go. If you use a chat GPT, you must be careful when you are doing this because sometimes you can go and just clear everything. Let's keep this one and then send the request. Yeah, access the NII. You are not able. You are access the NII, no token provided. So we don't have token. Which user was it again? So this route here, we can make a request for. You can make a post request. Yeah, you can make login post request for login. If I try to make a post request for login, I'll get now the token. I need to get the token so that um, that's the login, auth login. Or we can also try to see auth login. Uh, Here is the auth login. So down here, we need to make some change here. Existing user. So we need to return the token. So return user is equal to, you want to pass the ID and the whatever, ID, name, and then role. And then also want to pass token. Want to pass token. Looks like something wrong somewhere here. Say token is equal to token, and then have name, and then email, and then role. So back, if I send again, we're now able to get we have now the token. So if I take this token here, and then I go to where you are posting the product. This is where we are creating a new product. So I want to go to authorization, and then I have to select be a token, and then I paste this token in here, send the request again. Now the product was created successfully. All right, guys, so this is it for creating a product. So we can also make a delete product or other things. Now we want to focus now on, we want to now link our front end, start building now our React and our Express, Node.js and Express backend. All right, guys, so see you in the next video. Please subscribe and leave some comments there. So what we can do, how you want us to do it. So thank you for watching. My name is Shaban Musomba.